Monster Truck Dark Blue. This is BlueBrixx set 105135. It contains 1158 pieces. This LEGO compatible building block set was released in February 2023 for about €50. This is a BlueBrixx special set, so unlike the Pro sets, it doesn't contain any printed building instructions. You have to download them as a PDF file from the BlueBrixx servers. Also, the box design is kept quite simple. The bricks aren't pre-sorted. There aren't any numbered bags. I recommend that you open every bag and sort all the bricks by type before you start the building process. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. It always takes me several hours to sort all the bricks for these huge sets, but I think it's worth the time because it makes the building process much smoother. Well, I have already reached step 11, and in this step we have to place this universal joint. I don't really do much Lego Technic stuff, but I think with Lego these joints are always pre-assembled. That's not the case with this BlueBrixx set. We have to assemble it ourselves. So we got these two parts of the joint and they are connected via this little star thing. Well, then I'll do that. So I have just assembled it and it is absolutely the same like the Lego thing. You just have to put it together yourself. But it isn't that complicated, so that's fine. Step 26. Here is another part which isn't pre-assembled and we have to assemble it ourselves. This shock absorber over here. And I think it's always pre-assembled at Lego. At least I haven't seen the parts of it before. So it consists of three parts. We got this cylinder over here, and this piston rod, and a spring. Then we put the spring over the piston rod, like this, and then we push the whole thing inside the cylinder. And then hopefully it will look like this. Like a shock absorber we are used to from Lego. Okay, I have assembled two of these shock absorbers and I think they will work perfectly well. They have the same function as the Lego one. But I think they don't look as nice. They look a bit twisted. And that must be because of the used spring. The Lego spring isn't as massive in the middle part as this one is. The Lego spring is more even stretched out over the whole part over here. And this one isn't as even as the Lego one. Maybe it looks a bit uglier, and I'm not sure if it really is twisted. Maybe my eyes aren't the best, but it seems to work perfectly well, so that's fine. By the way, when we are talking about how the quality is of these things, let's have a look at the bricks. So some of the bricks are quite cool. They don't have huge injection points, so that's fine. All the bricks interlock perfectly well, at least so far. But there are also some bricks which are uglier because they have these huge injection holes, which we are used to from other BlueBrixx special sets. Yeah, these are huge craters, but I think in the end everything will be covered with tiles, so those ugly uh, molding injection points won't be visible in the end. Step 27. This is an easy step. We don't have to place any part at all. I don't know why they put this step inside the building instructions. We don't need it. We will continue with step 28. Step 99. In this step, we are going to use a building technique often seen in sets by BlueBrixx and also in sets by Kobe, as far as I know. We are going to use this hollow stat to invert the building direction. To do this, we need this little rod over here. And, well, we stick it in the hollow stat. And then just let me place the camera so you can see it. And then we are going to place this hollow stat with the help of this tool on the underside of this, yeah, what is it? This modified plate thing. So we stick it in here, and then with the help of our fingernail, we hold the hollow stat down and remove the tool. And now you can see that the hollow stat is placed. We do this so that we are able to invert the building direction. Now we can place this slope simply on the underside of the plate thing or whatever it is. Ta-da! Step 120. I just have placed this windshield and it's quite cool, but it got some bad scratches. It's hard to see on camera. Maybe you can see it better when I put the book behind it. Yeah, then you see me. Can I put my finger over there? Is it possible? You see over here where my finger is on the upper part of the windshield. There it got a bit milky because of all the small scratches. Maybe it's easier to see when I show you the other windscreen, which we have to place later. Yeah, here it's more clearly visible. There are a lot of small scratches, and that makes the windscreen in some parts a bit milky. All in all, it's quite okay. I think when there's enough light, you won't notice the scratches too much, but they could have protected the whole thing better for shipping. At least I think so, that the scratches come from the shipping. Or maybe they already were produced like that. I don't know. Step 149. We are building a bit of the engine now, and I'm not a big fan of the building technique used here. In the step before, we placed 4 of these tabs on a 2x4 plate, and now we place 2 of those 1x2 rounded plates with open studs on the tabs. So the open studs of the rounded plates are needed so that we can stick in the tabs. As you can see, we don't stick them in the whole way. We only push a bit. Only the tip of the tab goes inside this rounded plate. And it's difficult to do it the same way with every tab. it somehow looks a bit wrong. I'm not able to do it better. I would prefer if there was another 1x1 rounded plate between the tab and the 1x2 plate, or we simply would push these 1x2 plates all the way in, so that it would look the same with every tab. Yeah, I'm simply not a fan of building techniques where you don't push in the bricks, or where the interlocking isn't completely done. I just don't like this technique. Step 169. I'm still building the engine, but I want to show you something in the building instructions that I really like. Every time when a brick in the color flat silver is used, it's marked in the instructions with the letters F and S. And that's really cool because there are bricks in colors which are quite close to flat silver, at least when you look at the building instructions. And now I know that I have to use the flat silver one and not the light bluish gray one. Because when you only have a picture of it or the image in the building instructions, you might mistake that one with the other one. But when it's written there that it's flat silver, there is a way smaller chance that you take the wrong brick. Step 173. Do you remember when I had to stick these tabs, these four, 1, 2, 3, 4, inside these 1x2 plates, these rounded ones? Yeah, the plates shouldn't have been black. I should have used these dark bluish gray ones. Because in step 173 I need the black ones. And there aren't black ones left, only these dark gray ones. Yep. Now I have to disassemble the whole engine and, well, replace those black 1x2 plates. Damn it. Step 180. Again I'm missing two parts. And again it's because I have done an error before. These two parts are the one which I'm looking for. And what I have done in a previous step, I placed this part here instead of this part. And the same on the other side of the car. This part is placed instead of this one. Well, that's easy to fix, luckily. Step 185. At the moment I'm trying to place these two rims or wheels or whatever these things are. These two. And the problem is that they can't be placed as intended. So here's this, what is it? This gold bar in flat silver. And it's simply in the way. When we want to place one of the rims on this axle over here, it isn't possible because the axle sits too low, or the gold bar is just in the way. We can remove this whole part for a second. Yeah, ignore that. And then place the wheels. 1, 2, and now let's repair this thing over here real quick. Yeah, and now we can attach it back to the rest of the build. And as you can see, it doesn't interlock properly. The whole lower construction is bent now because the wheel sit directly on this bar, on this gold bar. This can't be the idea behind it. I don't know if the parts on which the wheels are attached to are a bad cast or if the whole idea behind the construction doesn't work. But I will leave it like this for now, but I really don't like what is done here. Step 212. It's really hard to see in this step where to place these 4 parts. The whole build is shown from the wrong side, but luckily we have done this before in step 139, if I remember correctly. Yeah, here. And these are the same parts, it's just inverted. And there you can see how we have placed it correspondingly. I hope this is correct. No, I think it's wrong. 212. Oh yeah, it's correct. Fine, okay. Step 240. We have just completed the engine bonnet. And now we have to connect it with the rest of the car. Well, and that's not so easy. We got these plate modifieds with handlebars over here. And we interlock them with these clips over here. The problem now is that when we push too hard, the whole car will fall apart because we can't produce any counter pressure. We can't stick our fingers under these clips over here because the engine is in the way. Well, I hope I will be able somehow to connect these 2 parts. Maybe I will try to stick a knife or something in here and then use it to counter push while I'm pushing the bonnet from up here down into those clips. I think I have found an easy solution. I removed the handlebars from the bonnet, connected them with the clips, and now I just have to connect the clips on the far left and the far right, like I have done here. And now I have to interlock again those plates with the handlebars. Yeah, it works perfectly fine. Ha! Great. Step 242. To build the car's roof, we are using some of these curved corner slopes. And I'm not sure if this is a Lego standard piece. It might be possible that this is a BlueBrixx exclusive. At least I haven't found it on Bricklink. Huh? These pieces are very cool, but I haven't seen it before. At least I can't remember. Step 253. We are building the construction which later on will hold the lights which will be placed behind the roof. So you can see these pipes over here, and the whole construction will be up here, and then the lights can shine in this direction. Well, at the moment we have this construction here, and now we have to add these rounded pipes. I have been up all the way up to step 255, so I already added another pipe to the rounded pipe, but it's still the same problem. As you can see, we get here the ends of these Technic axles. They are visible here, and these ends have to interlock with the rounded pipes. You can see here that there is these hole in a form is like a cross-looking hole is here, and well, they don't interlock as they should, because the tips of the axle are just too short. They are not long enough for the whole interlocking process. Well, I will continue to build the rest of this whole construction, and then later on I hope that it will hold together simply by pressure. So I guess that we will stick these things in here, and when we get pressure from here and from here, the whole construction can't fall down later. I hope at least that this is how it will be, because construction-wise, or better said, the method of interlocking doesn't work here at all. Step 268. In this step we have to marry the car with the construction which holds the lights, and also this flag. And as you can see, I managed to really put these two parts together, and my plan absolutely worked out. The axles are still too short, but because this pipe pushes into the construction from the right side and this pipe pushes from the left side, the whole thing stays in place. Ha! Great. Step 270. The build is complete. I think BlueBrixx designer Eugen really has done a great job. This car looks so cool. And it got a very cool suspension. It's fun to roll it around. Well, the build is way bigger than I expected it to be when I ordered the package. That's amazing. And it's heavy, wow. I hope the axles will hold the weight of this car. It might be possible that the axles will bend after time. So you can see the weight of the car really pushed down the axle a bit. It looks bent a tiny bit, but I'm not sure about it. Well, first of all, I have to say I have absolutely no knowledge about monster trucks. Back in the 90s, I loved to watch some monster truck shows on TV, but I was a kid back then, and I only remember Bigfoot, Gravedigger, and I think Snakebite was the third one. And that's pretty much all. I have been to a monster truck race, but it has been at a local supermarket in Europe, and you can't compare these kind of monster truck events with the ones in the United States. You don't fill whole stadiums with a monster truck show here. But it still was very much fun, and it's just so funny. I don't know if this is supposed to be a real monster truck or if it is just fantasy. I know that there have been different alterations of the Bigfoot monster truck. There, every few years, there has been a new model, and maybe this is the original one because the tires aren't that insanely big as with later models. And also, we can open the door, and when we have a look inside, we can see that there is a real interior like we normally only find in real cars. So maybe this is the original Bigfoot one, and the interior wasn't modified for these whole monster truck shows or races. So maybe that's the case. I don't know, but I think it's quite obvious, or at least in my eyes, this car looks like a modified Ford truck. So that still might be the Bigfoot. We can open the bonnet and have a look at the engine. I don't know, is it a V10? Are these the cylinders? Well, but it's really cool. I like the looks. In front of here we got more lights. The grill. Yeah, here are the other lights up there. This brick built flag, this American flag, looks quite cool, but it was very difficult to build. You can see that there are a lot of these 1x2 rounded plates with these cross holes in them, and they hold together by Technic axles. So there is this one longer gray Technic axle and 2, 4, 6, 7 shorter black Technic axles. And the problem is that, as you can see, the axle doesn't end at the same position where these 1x2 rounded plates end. So it's stuck inside this plate. The last plate on the top and on the bottom only is filled with to its half height with the axle. That means you really have to pay attention while building that you don't stick the axle too much, push the axle too wide into one of those plates in simply one direction, because you still need at least a bit of the axle at the other side, so that on top, on the bottom part, the last 1x2 plate still can be connected somehow. Well, the suspension was so much fun. It's just cool. I really like this car. I have no idea if it's Bigfoot or not. Bigfoot doesn't have these stripes. But nevertheless, it looks quite cool. Well, I also want to build one of the Lego monster trucks, because Lego, for example, released Gravedigger. And Gravedigger really is cool. I loved that car back in the 90s when I have seen the shows in TV from time to time. But as you can see, the Lego model has way less details than the BlueBrixx model. This is a Lego Technic build, so it is supposed to look a bit more rough than a Lego system build, but I still wish it was a system build and not a Technic build. System just looks way better. I also don't know if it does have the same size. I can imagine that it will be a bit shorter. We can see here, this is the 1x1, this is the actual tire size, and yeah, the tire is quite a bit smaller than this Blue Monster Truck's tire once. Blue Monster Truck's tire. Well, I really like this truck. It's so much fun. And I think for 50 euros, you can't do anything wrong. The build was quite easy. The only parts which were a problem were the flag and the whole thing which holds the lights, but it wasn't too difficult to solve that problem with these things. I actually had some problems attaching the tires, but that simply might have been me being too clumsy to build this. But as you can see, in the end, I accomplished to interlock every part, and no piece was missing. I really can't say anything bad about this build. It's really cool.